but we're mighty proud because we're all civically engaged. My name is Marjorie. Well, I'm the president and CEO of Arch Garage, and I welcome you to my space.
Thank you.
We are fortunate to have the support of the city of Delray Beach for years now. I've been here 9 years. And I say every time I speak at public comment, so even if you don't know me personally, you've probably seen me, because I never stop talking. And I make sure that everybody knows the difference we're making in our community and the impact we're making economically and on the citizens that participate in our programming. And I want you to know that the accessibility of our city commission blows me away. Truly. It doesn't matter who you voted for or who you want to vote for. And it's a pleasure to be the venue for the chamber, to do this candidates forum almost every time, for the last 9 years at least, maybe longer. So I'm glad you're here, I'm glad you're engaged, and I'm excited to see the candidates just like you are. So thank you for coming. Come back when you buy a ticket. Thank you. And now let me introduce Sean Hall, the chair of the board of directors of the chamber, who will tell you all the details.
Thank you, Marjorie. If there's one person that talks more than Marjorie, it's me. But I do have a specific guideline and script to follow tonight. But I want to thank everybody in the room for being here. We worked very hard to put this on. The chamber has around 800 members, which means we represent thousands of actual people, a lot of them citizens. And so tonight's important because we're able to, the candidates, speak directly to them. So speaking of that, I would like to say thank you to the candidates for being here tonight. As some of you in the room know, running for office is a serious commitment. It requires a tremendous amount of energy, preparation, and we appreciate your willingness to step up and participate tonight. So give them another round of applause. Local government matters because it has the most direct impact on our day-to-day lives. Decisions made at this level will literally affect our neighborhoods, our business, and our overall quality of life. So I want to thank again everybody for being here tonight and those watching online, for being engaged, for caring, for taking the time to listen to the candidates, hear what they have to say about key issues. So, that being said, here's how tonight's going to work. The candidates for City Commission Seat 2 are going to join us on stage tonight. Each candidate will begin with a 2-minute introduction explaining who they are and why they're running for office. While our moderator, Michael Weiner, will be asking the questions, the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce put out a call for questions and received a very strong response from the community. We have more than enough questions to ensure that each candidate up here tonight will be able to cover a lot of different topics. And because it's just the one seat, unlike years past, they will answer a question from each one of the 6 topics in front of us. Questions are grouped into the following categories: affordability, workforce and talent development, education, infrastructure and disaster preparedness, as well as economic development and city issues. Each candidate will answer one question from each category. Responses are limited to 2 minutes. Our timekeeper, Stephanie Edelman, will give a 30-second warning to hold up a stop sign or stop when time has expired. At the conclusion, each candidate will have 2 minutes to deliver their closing statement. This is a forum, it is not a debate. Candidates are here to clearly state their positions on issues and explain why they believe they are the right choice for office. Before we begin, I wonder, and they want what's best for our village by the sea. So with that, I am going to hand it over to our moderator, Michael Weiner, who is going to share some music with you, and then we're going to get this night started. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. They decided that a septuagenarian should set the stage, so I'm going to take it back 40 years. But I'll do it quickly, I promise. I know time is precious. So let's go to 1986, sound like a good year. The mall was king. Delray was Delray. Old School Square was surrounded by a 12-foot high chain link fence with barbed wire on it. Sounds like an inviting place. 40 years. 10 mayors, 40 city council members, 50 people helped change the lives of everyone over 4 decades. So, how important is it that you elect responsible people to these positions? I'll let you make the choice. We have people who are willing to take on the slings and arrows of their community members, sit on those dioceses. Have you ever been through one full meeting up there? Oh, some people. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. We have some of our own city council members here tonight, and they know that they've made a contribution. So it's not so easy to do this. The amount of paper has quadrupled over the decades and seems to just get larger and larger. Our code, if you could even print it out these days, would be over 2,000 pages. So that's the task that these people are taking on. So, no further ado, Ms. Mollica, Ms. Keiser, Ms. Rangel, we want to take the stage and let's let you do the talking. This is so Stephanie. No, I don't. Microphone. We've never really worked out all the dynamics of this. So it's a little clunky, but we're a small town, so forgive us. But what we try to do is they select the questions themselves. The staff of the chamber has put these things together after consulting with I don't know how many hundreds of people who have the opportunity to put questions in these baskets. I read the question, and then there's the answers. And that's the system we've been doing for a while. So let's get this thing going. All right, like candidate.
Is this one working?
Yeah. So just to remind the candidates, you'll be giving your opening statements.
You want this?
I'll do that.
Just to remind the candidates, you'll be giving your opening statements. Once you get to 30 seconds to go, I'll let you know. And when you hit 2 minutes, I'll give you the stop sign, okay?
So do they not get their 2-minute opening remark
Yes,
first from
yes,
all
they
three
do.
of them, right?
Yes, they do.
So
left to right. Move that.
left to right? How do we do that? Can we consciously make that choice?
We're gonna round robin it.
We're gonna just, okay, you guide me. All right. So, Ms. Keiser, we're starting on the left. There's no political statement there, is there? You do not have to answer a question. You have 2 minutes and the floor. Thank you.
Well, let me begin by saying good evening. Thank you so much to the organizers for allowing us the opportunity to participate in this very important event, and thank you to the audience and everyone who's here and online for participating in this election. I think our civic duty is so important. My name is Andrea Keiser, and I'm running for Delray Beach City Commission, seat number 2. I've been a resident of Florida for 23 years. I've been a resident of Delray for 12 out of those 23 years. I have a JD MBA, and I have a graduate certificate from MIT. Professionally, I've been an attorney for over 15 years, specializing in land use and zoning and education law. I'm also the COO of a preschool in Royal Palm Beach, where I oversee operations, licensing, and accreditation. My public service career is longer than my professional career, but I'll share with you the current boards that I serve on. I'm governor appointed to the Early Learning Coalition of Palm Beach County, ensuring that children have access to VPK and preschool education. I am currently the vice chair, but I was also the treasurer, managing a $300 million budget with a 5% administrative cost. I'm also county appointed to the Child Care Advisory Council, where we ensure that child care facilities across the county are operating in a safe manner. And then finally, I'm city appointed to the Delray Beach Housing Authority, chairwoman of the Delray Housing Group, ensuring there's a diversity of housing types in our city. More importantly, I have been with my husband for 14 years. He's in the audience. Thank you for being here. And we have have 3 beautiful children that are starting school full-time in June, so now I have the time to provide to the city of Delray Beach the level of service it deserves. The reason why I'm running for Delray Beach City Commission seat number 2 is to represent the next generation of Delray residents and to manage our success in a better way for those future generations. I'm also planning to use my subject matter expertise to make government more efficient and to preserve the charm of Delray, the reason that brought us to Delray, and the reason why we've laid our roots here to raise our children and our family here. And then finally, I'd like to run for City Commission to restore true public service through access, transparency, and civility. Thank you.
Well, you know.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
me now. Hi, good evening. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Chamber for arranging it and to the Arts Garage for hosting us. My name is Judy Mollica. I'm running for Delray Beach City Commission seat 2 to positively influence the city that we all love and to protect its character, charm, and livability that is Delray. I was raised in the Midwest along with 5 brothers and sisters. Coming from a modest background, I learned early on that hard work is the only way to achieve our goals. Nothing was ever handed me. I earned everything through determination and perseverance. I'm happy to call Delray Beach my home. I live here with my husband, Mark, and our 2 dogs. We have one fabulous daughter and son-in-law, and 2 beautiful grandchildren. Professionally, I'm broker owner of Ocean East Properties, where for many years I've helped families, seniors, and businesses put down their roots, grow, and thrive in our community. A lot of you know me because of the community work that I've done alongside many of you. Giving back to my community has always been a priority to me. That's why my commitment to Delray Beach goes further than my profession. I'm on my 2nd term of the Delray Beach Planning and Zoning Board, and I also serve on the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. I'm co-founder and president of Friends of Delray, and through newsletters and videocasts, we keep residents connected and informed about what's going on in our city. Because of that role, I started attending for many years City Commission meetings, and I also graduated from the Chamber's Leadership Delray and completed the city's Citizens Academy. I'm a board member and past president of the Rotary Club of Delray Beach, and proud to be a board member of Mayvolan Senior Center. For many years, I've served Delray with an active community engagement and strong leadership, working to strengthen our city and improve life for all of its residents. Thank you.
I'm the shortest one in the bunch, sorry about that. So good evening, everyone, and yes, thank you to the Chamber for hosting us and the Arts Garage. This is a beautiful facility, and thank you for having us. My name is Delores Rangel, and I am running for Delray Beach City Commission seat 2. I've lived in Delray for 59 years. I am married to my high school sweetheart, Gavino, many years, and we have built a great life here. We have 3 grown children, we have 5 grandchildren, 2 dogs, and we are raising a 17-year-old grandson. If my name is familiar to you, it's because I was a City Hall staff worker for 27 years, almost 3 decades. During that time, I worked closely with over 40 commissioners, 9 mayors, 10 city managers, and countless residents. I was a frontline problem solver and a consensus builder, someone who got things done. In 2023, I retired from my position at City Hall, but continued to watch commission meetings and kept myself informed about the issues. I am passionate about civic duty. I want to represent you as your city commissioner. Many of my former City Hall colleagues encouraged me to run for the open seat on the City Commission, and I decided the timing was right, and I was going to go for it. I believe my insight into City Hall and my proven commitment to Delray Beach will serve me well as your city commissioner. I hope you will consider me on election day, which is March the 10th. I also attended the Citizens Academy, such an eye-opener. I have to stop.
Nope, just wrap it up.
Oh, but you did the stop.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
I also participated in the Visions 2035. What an amazing committee and so much work, good work was done. Thank you, Stephanie.
All right, so that you know that we are treating everyone equally, what we do is we start with you, Judy, for the first round of questions, and then go to Delores, and then back to Andrea. Then we do all of this, really?
Yeah.
Then we move over to you, Delores, and then start the second round of questions, so that everyone gets a chance to be first and last. So we're going to start with economic development, so hold on, let me help you out. We have to make sure you're not staring at, oh, all right.
All right,
Look up.
you pick your question.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
and give it to Michael.
Yeah, it's clunky, I'm sorry. We're a village by the sea. We, what do you expect? We're gonna do it on an app? All right, ready? What can the city and the chamber do better to partner together to enhance our economic development? How can all the city's stakeholders work together better?
I think that's an excellent question. I realize.
I didn't write it.
Okay, whoever put it in, it was good. I realize that the chamber does a great deal of good work for its members, and it also has the ability to help us, a business that is starting out, to figure out what they're doing. Additionally, the DDA does a great job with the businesses that are within their boundaries, helping them navigate the system. I feel like somebody from the city should be doing that too. I think we need to grow our economic development team from the person of one to coordinate with both the chamber and the DDA and sort of become an ombudsman for the city to help people through that process. I feel like there's a lot involved in economic development. One of them is arts and culture. That's kind of, I believe, how our city got started, is with arts and culture. And I want to, so we should partner with our not-for-profits as well. I haven't got a thing yet. So I'm doing
You do not need to take up all of the time if you properly answer the
I
question.
don't want to talk just to talk, but
You're good. You got
30 seconds if you need it.
okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judy. Ms. Rangel, you sat so many years there. Thank you so much. I'm keeping this. West Atlantic has been a priority for development for years. What would you do to make it an inviting, economically vital part of our city?
Okay, that is a really good question, and it's West Atlantic is something that it's way overdue. We need to start, and the DDA, they can help us with that because they've done such a fantastic job downtown, and they need to move west, and that's what we need to work on is having the DDA and the city, along with the CRA, help us to get West Atlantic done. I know it's not developed yet, but once done, the DDA will be able to go in there and energize it in that area, and that's what we need to look forward to, and that's what we need to move on. That is what I think we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Keiser? Thank you. What changes would you make to the LDRs to support small startup businesses so they thrive in Delray?
So let's start by saying that I'm a small business owner. I've had a small business in downtown Delray for 7 years. And I want also to remind all of us that it is the small businesses, the arts, the culture, and the preservation that's all part of Delray's charm. And when we led with that identity, it really has proven to be a quality economic driver. So what I would do to the LDRs is, number one, I think we have to reduce the barriers of entry for our LDRs by making the permitting process more friendly, responsive, and expeditious. Nobody likes permitting delays, and that adds an additional layer of cost to our small businesses that oftentimes make it cost prohibitive to open up those small businesses. And because we've been so successful in the downtown Delray, I think the city and the LDRs and the zoning districts, I think we need to look at those regulations and determine whether or not we can find a new home for our small businesses that are not priced out of the downtown. There's so much opportunity to capitalize upon. We've got the arteries that surround downtown Delray. We have the West Atlantic, we have the Congress Avenue corridor. So we need to make sure we take a look at our regulations and ensure that we are incentivizing and making it easy for small businesses to open in Delray and stay in Delray and make it affordable for them to stay in Delray. Thank you.
That is our economic development portion. We're going to go on to affordability.
You get to start this time.
We're moving around.
I know. Giving you a hard time.
It's all right. You always did.
Nothing's changed.
I really do have to take a moment to compliment the Chamber and the way that they put these things together with the questions. They really do take a lot of effort to make sure that everyone has some input on these questions. I want to tell you, things had to change a lot because, quite honestly, this last council, remember when water utilities were a problem? We've got a solution. Remember when the golf course was number one? Take out all those questions, we've got a resolution. We're now e-planning online with respect to our plans, another solution. There's been the reopening of the Creative Arts School. So we had to change up the questions to what's on our mind right now.
Yeah. A lot of changes.
All right, Ms. Rangel, the state has reinforced the use of workforce housing to increase residential opportunities. Where do you see the biggest opportunities with respect to workforce housing within Delray Beach?
Well, West Atlantic for number one. Another one that really piqued my interest, and I think it's a beautiful thought, a beautiful idea, is the ADU, accessory dwelling unit. Those are the tiny homes. If you have a good-sized home, but you have some property, you can either put the home in front or behind your house. It has to have a driveway, but it's a tiny home. So if you're like a couple, you could move into that tiny home and rent out your house, your main house. Or affordability, that's become an issue here. So I know affordability affects me personally. You know, I have my daughter, her husband, and her 3 children, as well as my 17-year-old grandson. They live with us because Delray Beach is not affordable. So yes, I would like to see more built. Carver Square is one. Corey Isles is another. Lakes of Delray. But we need to start doing more single-family homes, and with the CRA, we're going to get there. The CRA is going to, that's part of what they do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keiser? All right, no looking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, this is... All right. What can you do to make housing affordable for city employees, first responders, and the staff that work in the service industries throughout Delray Beach.
Housing affordability is a supply and demand issue. So if you want to make housing more affordable, you have to ensure that you increase the supply. Serving on the Delray Beach Housing Authority, it's our goal to make sure that we have those diverse housing types in order to make sure that there's housing affordability for every income level. I think my colleague over here already pointed out that we've got some types of housing that could help with the supply, which are easy to use. It was nice to see it on the agenda last night, the legacy properties and having those legacy properties, allowing them the ability to still build smaller single-family housing for people that have owned their property for more than 30 years, and their parcel doesn't meet the current development regulation standards, so it makes it easier for them to build homes on their properties that they will have for a very long time and can pass down through generation. I think as a city, we can take a look at our LDRs and think about ways we can incentivize affordable housing. We already do have some great regulations in the LDRs, but something that we've done in the past was when we had an affordable housing development, really earmarking it for our city employees and earmarking it for our first responders and our teachers. With the project that I was a part of over at Island Cove, it's a 100% affordable housing unit. A portion of those units were dedicated to workforce housing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know, Judy, it's hard to get to. There's only one left? All right.
But Judy, it's a long one. All right. Here we go. While Delray Beach has been a leader in affordable housing by programs such as the Community Land Trust and the Delray Beach Housing Authority, we clearly have a need for more workforce housing. It seems that the best way to lower prices would be to add to supply, yet density has become a controversial topic. How would you meet the need to add more housing but address community concerns about density? Ooh.
Wow, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the CRA owns a lot of properties that I'd love to see start getting developed. I know that there's the Community Land Trust is where they keep the land and they put a home on it so it is affordable, so the mortgage payment is affordable for the person coming in it that complies with that workforce housing. But they could pay for 30 years and still not own that land. So I have a little difficult time with the Community Land Trust. With regard to ownership, even though I do want to see more ownership. I do believe there could be an opportunity for a public-private partnership on city land. This would not be for ownership, but this would be for affordable housing. And where a developer could build the property on city land, the city can retain that asset after a period of so many years when the developer recoups that. But then the city could actually have a say in what level of affordable housing. Because when we let developers decide what level of affordable housing, even if we're requiring them to have it, they pick the highest level, which you have to make a lot of money to be able to afford it. We don't have anything that I know of that we can put the cheap in developers that say you have to pick the low. Because of course they want to make the most money out of their investment. So I think that's one way that we might be able to have some control over that, is to do a public-private partnership. Thank you.
All right, next topic. Workforce development. We start with you, Angela.
What do you think are some of the causes of our workforce issues? Is there anything that the city can do to help people live within the city and fill in the gaps?
Okay. I'm going to answer the second part of the question and go back to the first. So if you take a look at the environment right now in Palm Beach County, there's a lot of businesses that are vetting Palm Beach County for where they relocate their headquarters, and with that comes jobs. I think we need, as a city, to create an environment that incentivizes businesses to choose Delray Beach as their home and bring those jobs here. But what do we need in order to bring those jobs here? One, we need educated workforce. We need to make sure that our workforce is trained to succeed at those jobs. And then we also need housing for that workforce so they can stay and live in Delray.
Thank you. Judy, you're next. After hearing all the problems we have in the city of Delray, everybody wants to get to the bar soon, so that's why we're going fast. How can the business community work together with the city and other agencies to provide a path to high-wage careers for the youth in our community? In other words, how can you get your kid to come back to Delray?
I think, well, I'm not sure about the high wages, but I think that one thing that I feel like our city should be, or the economic development department that I'd love to create, is create some internships, encourage internships. We do have the historical Carver Technical Center, which has only been for adults so far. They have programs like career tech ed, medical assistant, home health aid, phlebotomy, CAN test prep, apprentice electrical, and others. And they've just opened up. I don't know if it's begun or they're trying to, but they're opening up for schools to be able to do that. And it's like 11th and 12th graders can do a career track. Not everybody's going to be bound for college. So this gives these kids an opportunity to learn a trade that they can get right out of high school and start earning money. And actually, I think HVAC can earn a lot of money. We're trying to get some more programs involved in that. I think that automotive would be a really good thing. It's not like the old days where you stand under a car with a greasy wrench. Now it's all computer, and they make some good money. So I think that's a way to do it. Creating apprenticeships, encouraging internships, and just making the community aware that those programs exist. Thank you. Thank you.
What do you see as Delray Beach's strongest industries? How can we develop outreach to students to enable them to fill jobs in their hometown in those strongest industries?
Wow, that is such a great question. Wow. This is just FYI. Delray Medical Center is actually the largest employer in Delray Beach. The city of Delray Beach is the second largest employer. So what I've heard and seen, and I really agree with, is trade schools. During trade schools, not all the students are college material. So if they go into trade schools, dealerships, maybe a dealership would be willing to take some students 2 or 3 days a week and teach them how to change the oil hands-on. We have the old school square. We have the state-of-the-art kitchen. Maybe we could have our chefs from downtown come in once a week and teach them. One could teach them how to properly cut an onion without cutting a finger. I don't want to see anybody with a cut finger. Those are the kind of things that I think that Delray could offer our students. And like I said, it would be a win-win situation. They could do electrical, they could do plumbing. There's so many things out there that we could teach our children, and they could stay here in the community and actually raise a family here. Why go anywhere else? We have a beautiful village by the sea. We have everything here. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now on to education. So we go get this one. Or Judy, why don't you just...
Yeah.
We start with you now, Deb. Yeah. Everybody's wondering when that old man hopping up and down finally won't make it out of the chair. All right.
We didn't think this through. We
What's
didn't
that?
think this through.
Oh, why don't you admit it in front of everyone? This is a great way. I think it's going very well, and I like the candid answers, so thank you very much for your time and patience. Understanding that the school board is a separate governmental entity, what can the city do to ensure that all students in public education in Delray Beach are getting the best education?
Thank you for that question. I believe a couple things that we could probably do to start partnering with the school board a little more is we had at one point an interlocal agreement with the city and the district. I'm not sure everything that entailed, but I think that that could get more communication between them. We used to have an education board, and we have disbanded that board. I'd like to restore the education board to get more input from the community about doing that. Early learning from 0 to 5 lays the foundation for learning. And if they aren't kindergarten ready, then they're not going to be able to read in 3rd grade. Our children coming to Delray Beach are only 35% of the children arriving at school kindergarten ready. We have free VPK, I think in 3 of our schools, but the problem is that the programs are half day. And so people working can't necessarily take off at 1 and go pick up their children. So I think our city needs to provide sort of wraparound services. Who I see is really picking up the slack in our education is our not-for-profits. And I wouldn't like to see a line item going to the school district. I would like to see a line item in our budget going to our fabulous not-for-profits, like the Delray Beach Education Fund that does great things for it, KOP Mentoring, the Achievement Center, Milagro, EJS, Roots and Wings. These are the people that are helping lift our children up. I'm pretty passionate about that, so I probably got off the actual question. Oh, I have 30 seconds, so I have to tell you, I told somebody I was nervous about, coming here and doing this, and the guy at lunch said, oh, it's no big deal, you just get up, you speak, you answer questions, you go home. Anyway, thank you.
Me again? I just went.
I know I'm old, but I didn't forget that.
But you are
I'll pick it up by the last question.
Read the question as well. Give me an easy one.
Quality education is important to the future of Delray in numerous ways. And yet, it is a county function. What would you do for Delray to exercise its power over this county function? You think it can come back to us?
Okay. A lot of our kids are going south to school. That's not a good thing. But we're doing better. We are doing better. We need more lobbying. We need a better partnership, the city with the school board. And you know what I always say? The squeaky wheel gets things done. And we're having, the kids are having problems. They're struggling with the reading. The reading is so important. And so, like with my colleagues, the Milagro Center, the Achievement Center, those organizations, those nonprofits are vital. They're great partners with the city, and we need to continue, but we need to build that relationship stronger. And we need to actually do some sort of an agreement with the school board and the city of Delray. And like I said, our, I'm not sure what her title is, but our education coordinator, we need to maybe reach out more to the school board. And I did see the presentation last night at the commission meeting, and I was so excited about all these reports. The schools, the principals came in and said, they talked to us about it, and we are doing better, but we still have work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Last to you, Ms. Keiser. I don't have any Stephanie Van White here, so you do your part. The Chamber has created the Delray Chamber Education Fund, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to raising money for our schools. Did you put this in, Stephanie?
Yes.
Oh, and you just admitted it too. All right, go ahead. What is the best way for the city and DCF to work together to help our schools and our children?
So like Judy, I'm very passionate about early learning, and I think the city needs to start thinking, instead of pre-K to college, infancy to college, we need to focus on early learning because right now only half our schools have less than 50% of our children that are kindergarten ready. And what does that mean? That means if our children are not kindergarten ready, they're not third grade reading level ready. And if they're not third grade reading level ready, they're less likely to graduate on time and go to college. So when we think about education, we really need to start thinking about starting early learning. So not only are we giving our children the strongest possible start and that foundation for the love of learning, but think about it, it's actually a workforce issue too. Because parents that have a safe place to bring their children can either stay in the workforce or join the workforce. And we all know that retention in the workforce is a lot cheaper than the turnover. So it's not just a quality of life issue when it comes to our children's education, but it's also a workforce issue. What I would do, because the after school programs are such a wonderful, right? School doesn't, our work day doesn't end at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So because our after school programs are such an important part of education, not only because it gives children the exposure to different enrichment activities that supplement their education, but it allows for parents to work through the longer workday. I think the best use of the Chamber Educational Fund would to be have partnerships with after-school programs. And we have both private and public after-school programs that really could not only give children those additional enrichment activities and exposure to different subjects, but also give the parents the time to, it's reversed.
30 seconds.
Okay. Give the parents the time to finish their workday so they can go ahead and stay in the workforce. And then also it gives the children an opportunity to continue to you learn when you are having fun, and those after school programs have a fun component which makes them love learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Delores, I'm coming back to you.
Michael, you're picking on me.
Yeah, I know.
So what we got coming in about 5 months. Hurricanes. Hurricanes have been increasing in size and strength over the past decade. What is your assessment of preparedness in our city to help our town be prepared for the next disaster?
Okay, that is a really good question, and because we are a coastal city, we need to be prepared. Our police and fire, they're prepared. City staff is prepared. That I do know and I do believe. We need to be careful with our reserves. We can't continue to use those reserves like a monthly budget, like your home budget, taken out of savings account. You have to leave those reserves there. I'd like to see the reserves left there because they're going to be critical to us if we do get hit with a severe storm. You know, the city, has to pay for garbage pickup, water, ice. We have to help the residents out, but, and they have to help themselves as well. But the city is fundamentally responsible, and we need to have those reserves intact. That's what I see, but like I said, I believe and I know police and fire are ready, so is city staff. We just need to be more careful about our reserves so that we're ready to go. Thank you.
There have been recent enhancements to the permitting process at the development services. You have an opinion as to the efficiency of development services in regard to their response to a community problem. How did that get in there?
It's supposed to be emergency preparedness.
Yes, it is.
No, it's infrastructure and emergency preparedness.
All right.
Okay.
They tell me the category is broader than just that.
Okay, so it's infrastructure and so
Surprised me, but
it's
We're going broad.
infrastructure and disaster preparedness. So that's part of infrastructure, but we could.
we should not have a debate about this with them.
All right.
I'm going to now try to read the question without trying to correct it for You ready?
Okay?
All right. This is a challenge. You will be able to show your creativity.
Okay.
Switching gears. There has been recent enhancement to the permitting process at development services. Do you have an opinion as to the efficiency of Delray's online permitting system?
You want me to tie this into infrastructure and disaster preparedness?
No, you don't.
No. I didn't put them in the little dishes.
So anything we can do to reduce permitting delays is definitely a positive in our city. I think a lot of residents, I've been out there talking to residents, and a lot of their frustrations are around permitting delays. I am going to try to link it here to infrastructure and disaster preparedness. I'm going to attempt to do this, but you know, we think about when our city gets hit with a natural disaster, we want to make sure we work with our partners to ensure there's quick and efficient disaster cleanup, and that there are community services available to assist our residents who lose power or lose more. And for those of us that experience damages to our homes, then we should be able to, you know, use the online permitting process through the Development Services Department. Perhaps we can even create an expeditious permitting process specifically for people that are hit by disasters. So this way they can go ahead and make those repairs to their homes, so this way they can continue to live in a habitable place.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to the grab bag category for $10. Everyone talks about traffic, congestion, and parking. What are your thoughts about innovative parking solutions, such as offering driver valet service to Atlantic Avenue, or enabling alternative modes of transportation?
That's my hot button, thank you. I've been talking about bringing back the trolley, except not the diesel one. I'd like to do like some of our other cities are doing and get an electric trolley using city-owned parking hubs west, and the trolley could also stop at the tri-rail and then stop at the parking hubs and bring people, employees, and visitors to and from the city, not down Atlantic Avenue necessarily, but on the side streets. I think that would alleviate a lot of our traffic problems and necessarily our parking problems. In our Visions 2035, one of the gentlemen that was working with me said, pretty soon we're just going to have self-driving cars. So that is my hope that that's going to happen. But in the interim, I think we can provide a clean solution to help with that.
Thank you.
Sure.
We're at the last category, all right? We start with you. Thank you.
What's the category?
I don't know.
City issues.
Category is city issues. This was the one that was supposed to be the one that contained every catch-all, but I guess we decided that we were going to have 2 tins of catch-all. Could have let me know. All right. A study has been commissioned regarding the future of Old School Square. I'll tell you, at least these questions get to real global issues. You can tell this comes from the people. What is your opinion as to the direction that Old School Square should go?
Sure. We often talk about Old School Square while we're out there in the community talking to residents, and I think no matter on what side of the issue that you stand on, I think the point is that we need a plan, and we need a plan to move forward, and it's time. I believe that there are two components that will make Old School Square successful, that will not repeat past issues, and that is one, you need someone who's strong in operations, that understands how to make Old School Square successful by using arts and culture, and you need somebody else who's strong in programming. Somebody that understands how to program Old School Square and the entire campus, so this way we can have successful programming. So I think the combination of operations and programming is essential to the success of Old School Square. I do not believe that the city, I do not believe that the city should run Old School Square, and I do not believe that it is within the lane of the DDA and their purview to run Old School Square. We did really well when there was a nonprofit partner, so I would like to, and I think many of the residents feel, we would like to see the city partner with someone that is strong in operations and strong in programming to continue to bring the city back to the point where we led with that. Old School Square is at the heart of our downtown. It is a jewel. It's a very important and valuable civic asset, and we're looking forward to taking it to the next level through that combination, two-pronged combination approach.
Thank you, Ms. Keiser. Grab bag. What do you think of Stephanie's wardrobe choice tonight? Oh, that's
I think she's a movie star.
I get that question.
all right. How would you solve? Did we do this?
I don't know.
All right. You happen to choose a similar question, which we do have, because seriously, people will put in more than one question on what is a pressing topic, and we want to make sure it's answered. So, how would you solve the problem that the Crest Theater has been closed for 5 years and there is no plan? Oh, this one wants to really. And there is no plan or program to manage it, even to have it open daily.
Well, the solution is fixing it, because when the lease was ended, they were in the middle of renovation, and the renovations necessarily stopped. My understanding is the most recent bid for the Crest Theater is $6 million. When that money is spent, when our taxpayers' monies are spent on that, and it's available to be used, I think that I would agree with my opponent that we need somebody strong in operations and strong in programming. It was relatively easy in the past to do shows in Crest Theater and to have multiple things running all at once. We just need to get the right person in there to do that, not with taxpayers' money, and not with the millage that the DDA is paying, or the DDA people in there are paying, but a strong not-for-profit that could take that over. Maybe they could even afford the $6 million. I don't know.
That would be nice.
Michael, you can pull it and read it. I'm the last one,
you
right?
got
There's tons to choose from.
yeah, you got tons to choose. This was a popular category.
Seriously, I hope the audience recognizes some of the questions that made it to this, because that was important to the chamber. Oh, all right. Delray's population is now estimated at over 70,000 people. Is there an upper limit before Delray cannot be considered a village by the sea? Ooh,
That is not a fair question. Wow. I live out west, and I'm still village by the sea, and there's plenty of places to build out. So, goodness, because we are such a vibrant, close-knit community, we're always going to be village by the sea.
wow.
So with that, I've been a resident 59 years. I'm not going anywhere. This is my village by the sea. And like I said, I lived in Osceola Park for, I don't know, 23 years, I think. And I moved out west. But I come down. This is my village by the sea, and I live up near Military Trail, okay? So, I can't give you a number. I cannot honestly give you a number. This is where we come, we enjoy life, we play, we work, everything here. Village by the sea, always.
Thank you, thank you. Can we give our candidates a round of applause? They not only had to put up with these questions, but they put up with me. And now each of you have 2 minutes without my interference to speak to the assembled mass of you. Thank you.
Okay, where do we start?
We started with yes.
Okay.
You didn't have that figured out first? Delores, if you'd be so kind. Delores, would you be kind to start, and then we'll do Judy, and Andrea, you would be last. 2 minutes now. Your own free thoughts.
Okay. So first of all, I want to sincerely thank the organizers for bringing us all together tonight. And thank you all, although I can't see you too well with these bright lights, thank you all also for attending. So these conversations matter, and I appreciate the work that it takes to make them happen. Okay, so I've called Delray Beach my home for almost 6 decades, 59 plus years. I started 3rd grade in Pine Grove Elementary School, and my kids went there as well. This is where I grew up, raised my family, and learned what community really means. I care about this city and its residents. That is why I am here tonight. I'm asking for your vote. I did not seek endorsements from organizations with contracts that are coming before the city. I have no endorsements. I believe it's important to remain independent, ethical, and focus solely on what's best for the city and our residents. I'm proud to say that I do have the endorsements of 2 former mayors, and I'm so proud. Mayor Shelley Petrolia and Mayor Carrie Glickstein both feel that I am the best candidate for seat 2. I want to continue to serve the residents, and I will do it with a deep respect for this community. And I want to thank you for your time and for caring about our city's future. Don't forget to vote March 10th, and remember, you can rely on me, Delores Rangel. And just a side note, I called someone, and I was asking for contributions like my opponents. We all called, asked for campaign contributions, and they said, Delores, I don't know, let me get back with you. You're very ethical, and I've known you a long time. I haven't heard back. But I'm good with that, and I'm not giving a name. I love that person. Thank you.
Thank you. Many of you here tonight have seen my character and my commitment up close. Leadership isn't about being the newest voice, it's about being the right voice. I believe in using common sense. I think common sense tells me that when the city raises our parking rates for a minimal revenue, our visitors will go somewhere else to dine and shop and get out of the habit of coming to Delray Beach. And that's not good for our businesses. I think it's common sense that we should seek out solutions to our affordable workforce housing. Solutions like we discussed tonight, accessory dwelling units, and maybe a public-private partnership. It's common sense to have strong public safety because residents and visitors want to feel safe on the streets and in their homes. And we want to know if we have a heart attack, somebody's going to come and take care of us. But this past year, we lost 27 police officers to neighboring departments because we took over a year to negotiate the police contract. We need to streamline that process to retain the officers that we've already invested in. I think it's common sense to make it easy to do business in Delray Beach. Our city should do all it can to ensure that business can succeed here and not make it difficult. We must ensure a good business economic environment. I'm committed to making government more civil, more responsive, and more effective for the people of Delray Beach. Many of the people that I spoke to when I was knocking on doors believe that there is chaos on the dais. If elected, I want to work respectfully, collaboratively to find creative solutions and build consensus. My agenda is the community. I'm a well-known community advocate, skilled at bringing people together and finding solutions. I'm proud to have endorsements of our police and firefighters, as well as the Palm Beach County Human Rights Council, and several more, including Senator Lori Berman. Thank you for your time and your trust and your continued involvement in our city, and I hope you will vote for me March 10th.
So at the Vision 2035, my key takeaway from that process is that we actually are all in alignment. We are all in agreement that our goal is to preserve the charm of Delray Beach. But how do we continue to preserve that charm for Delray Beach for generations to come if our residents and our families can't afford to live here, can't afford to stay here, can't afford to open up their businesses here, can't afford to send their schools here, and can't afford to patron downtown? We've talked about a lot of issues tonight through all the questions that are really aimed at preserving our identity as Delray Beach and making a better Delray. Like you, I love this city. We love this city. We love our beaches, our neighborhoods, our downtown, our parks, our art scene, and the sense of community that makes Delray Delray, which is very rare. And like you, I want to make sure that the city remains affordable, beautiful, sustainable, safe, and welcoming. Not just today, but for the next generation, because we are not villages by the sea. We are a village by the sea. We can agree that city taxes, fees, and regulations shouldn't quietly pile up and push people out. Delray Beach should be a place where our village can live comfortably and not just visit. We can agree that city government should be more efficient, not by doing less, but by doing better. And when government works efficiently, residents get better services, lower costs, and trust in their leaders. That's common sense. It should not be controversial. We can agree that city government ought to safeguard our culture and our quality of life because Delray Beach has a unique character. It's not just a place on a map. It's a community of values, history, and a way of life that other people come here to enjoy. And development should respect our neighborhoods, and progress and preservation should go hand in hand, and decisions should be made with the citizens at heart. Let's restore the heart of government. We can agree that safety is the foundation of quality life, and strong schools are the backbone of our community. And finally, Delray Beach is strongest when we listen to one another, treat each other with respect, and remember we are all on the same team. And if you agree with all of that, then vote Andrea Keiser on March 10th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rob, can you bring us home and then get us to the bar?
Sure can. Can I have the microphone?
No. Oh, well.
Well, Stephanie's got the wireless one.
All right, let's give it up to the three candidates again real quick. Thank you very much for coming out and for sharing your opinions and your thoughts and your vision. I'm going to ask you to stay up here for a minute so we can get a photo of all of us together. But I just want to remind some people of a few key deadlines that we've got. Deadline to register to vote is Monday, February 9th. So if you have not registered to vote, not yet registered to vote, Delores, that's a lot. Monday, February 9th is that time. The deadline to request a vote by mail ballot is Thursday, February 26th. Early voting is not available in this election, so you'll have to show up the day of. The deadline to return vote by mail ballots is Tuesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. at the Supervisor of Elections office. And election day, as a lot of you have mentioned, is March 10th. So, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank our elected city officials and our former elected city officials for coming out, and all of you for caring enough about our village by the sea to come and listen to what these candidates have to say. So, on behalf of the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, on behalf of the Amazing Arts Garage, thank you again for hosting us. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Have a good night, and remember to get out to vote.